Next, I'm going to start on my fog effects. And for that, I am going to turn off my depth of field. Not because they don't play well together. They do. They play very well together, but because I want to keep my rendering time down just so that I can test things. So with my depth of field turned off, I am going to go to Windows, Rendering Editors, Render Settings. In the Render Settings window, I will go to the Arnold renderer, and under Environment, I've got Atmosphere and Background, which is a legacy effect. We're not going to use it. We're just going to stick with the Atmosphere options. There are two of them, and I'm going to start with the AI Fog. What the AI Fog does is it creates the appearance of a foggy ground in your scene. The Atmosphere Volume, on the other hand, creates more of a light fog effect, and that won't work very well with my physical sky. So before I do that one, I'm going to have to create a couple of area lights. So I'll start with the AI Fog. When I add the AI Fog to my scene, I get this kind of weird, funny whiteness that pervades all over my scene. That's because of the way the default fog is set up, and it should automatically load into your attribute editor. If you don't see it here, go back to the Render Settings window. This button here is a downstream node button. It will select the AI Fog and load it for you. With the fog attributes, instead of starting from the top down, I'm going to start from the bottom up. The ground point is the origin, 0, 0, 0. That will work fine for me, but if your scene is set up a little funny, you may need to change that. The ground normal is the first big thing to change. This is X, it's set to 0. This is Y, you remember Y is up and down. That's set to 0. I will set that to 1. This is Z, Z is front and back. I am going to set that to 0. And now my fog should be going up and down instead of front to back. Yeah, that's how fog works. It comes from the ground up. Next, I've got this height value. It's set to 5. If I set this down to 0, you'll see that the fog just takes over the entire scene. If I set it to 1, now you'll see that it is just right on the horizon line. As I set it a little higher, you'll see it start to take over some of the objects. Maybe right around a 2 or a 3 will be fine for me, and that's something that you'll have to figure out for yourselves. The other thing that I've got here is distance, which is almost like solidity. So if I set it to 1, again, it just blacks everything out or whites everything out. But if I set it to maybe like a 0.2, you start to see that now my objects are starting to emerge from the fog. 0.1, it becomes a little bit less dense. 0.5, a little bit more dense. And again, these are numbers that you'll play around with, and you'll make work for you. I think I like mine right around there. Last, I've got color, and with color, value will turn the fog off or on, and of course you can tint it with any saturation you like. So that is your AI fog, and it's going to work like ground fog once you set its ground normal up correctly.